Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's FalconPaladin coming to you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. It's a very special edition of MidRank Madness. It's going to be XFilez versus FalconPally here on Parasite, the latter edition. Top left-hand corner, the red Terran player, it is XFilez. And in the bottom right-hand corner, the blue Zerg player, it is FalconPally of the FalPal clan. Yes, it is me. I have been playing the ladder more often this season. I've been slacking off on laddering the last few weeks and months and maybe a year or so. I figured I'd throw myself into the ladder. Lost a few games, won a few games, and I'm not going to tell you who won this game. Alright, so SCV coming down a little bit early here. Hatch first. Hatch first from FalconPally. That is me. I tried to hide it, but the SCVs saw. Pretty darn weak attempt. I realized that SCVs win worker fights against other races and juked him, and bam! Threw down the hatch with not a second or inch to spare. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. The SCV is very, very upset. This is Diamond 3 level of mid-rank madness. The SCV is going to try to kill this. Extractor here, waiting for 200 minerals at about 17 supply. And there it goes. 17 supply done. Throwing down the spawning pool. Meanwhile, scouting here, the double barracks opening, which tells me we're going to see some crazy stuff. We're going to see some kind of crazy either marine pressure, likely going to be reaper pressure based on the gas that we have here. I stole the extractor when I realized I wasn't getting out of there because the wall was up, and then I canceled it and I tried to hide. At this point I said maybe my third base can be inside the Terran base, because if he moves out with some reapers, then I can proxy hatch him and this will be a quick game. SCV still trying to kill this base. Spawning pool still not done here. Going for that Overlord so you don't get supply blocked. Got a Reaper on the way. Got another Reaper coming on in here too. There it is. Second Reaper and second gas here from XFilez. Do I scout that? Yeah, I know. And I try to get up and scout that gas, but I can't get there. So I do actually see it under construction. So I see the double gas, and that tells me something nuts is happening. A bunker coming up from XFilez late and in vision of my base. So I'm like, oh, I don't have time to wait for lings. Lings are too slow. Get up there, drones. Go, fight, win. I don't know if this is worth the lost mining time or not. But I do go ahead and take down the SCV building the bunker and then put these guys to work down here while I wait for the lings to pop. And there they are. Could the lings gotten there in time? I don't know. I am not convinced. And I feel like pulling workers is better than dying. So I'm going to try to take down this bunker. There's the canceled. There's the Reaper. Thus begins the dance of can the Reaper kill these lings before the Queen pops out? And the answer is maybe. Absolutely possible. Man, this is a very bright map, isn't it? I didn't realize how bright it was when I was playing on it. One ling does go down. Queen gets an inject off, and then Queen gets on the edge of the creep and says, all right, let's get some shots off on this Reaper and his friends. Speed's on the way. I'm not spending my money very well at all. I'm trying to micro my face off right here. APM is currently 300 for both of these players. Another Reaper shows up. So we've got 3 Reapers, and that for me means a lot of lings with potential speed here. KD8 charge blowing those guys back. Again, more KD8 charges. Get back on the creep. Get back on the creep. I'm waiting for speed to kick in because I can't engage with these Reapers. I'm injecting kind of fairly well. They actually get in there, and they do pick off a single drone. The lings trying to... There it is. Finally, speed shows up. And the Reapers are in a lot of trouble now. One of them does go down. The other one manages to get up on top of that cliff with 5 total hit points. And he is getting chased by these lings. I actually didn't realize this. Did they win this? Hit, and they get him. Oh, good job, Zerglings. And I'm like, all right, I have a million Zerglings. I gotta put some pressure on right now. It is time for the pressure. Baneling Nest coming up. I'm going for the Baneling Nest. I did actually have this happen to me earlier in a ZVT where I got a lot of Reapers in my face, made some lings to spawn, and said, crap, these are dead units. Let's Baneling bust him. And it worked. So we'll see if it works here or not. I have so many not workers back home. I have 15 workers at the 4-minute mark. XFilez is sitting at 19 himself. Diamond 3, you guys, is a weird place. It's an exceptionally weird place to ladder. So there are my Banelings. There are my lings. Guess what he's doing, though? Reactored Cyclones. I did not realize how close these Cyclones were to not finishing when I showed up. Man, they just popped in, didn't they? That's amazing. All right, so now the Banelings start to waddle on up here. The lings need to absorb some of this fire. Does he target fire the Banes? Yeah, I try to send the Banelings in first, and I'm trying to get the supply depot, but remember how Cyclones aren't good against lings? They're good against lings if they're not being attacked by lings. So, yeah, that was a horrible attempt by me. Really bad. 900 resources lost by me compared to a total of 3 from XFilez. That's brutal. I was like, all right, if at first you don't succeed, round 2 Baneling bust. And drone up at home, not still sitting on 15 workers. I'm trying to end the game now. I don't feel comfortable in my late game TVZ stuff. Ooh, that was up. And it is up here, so the Lings are trying to get on top of this. The Banelings explode on that supply depot stupidly. The Banelings, if they'd gotten in here and actually exploded on these Marines, or the Cyclones instead of that supply depot, it's a better situation. But he holds 16 kills on that Cyclone, 7 kills on that Cyclone, 12 kills on that Cyclone. And I'm like, all right, I am in trouble. So I make 12 more Zerglings. See, my Panic Zergling game is on point. 15 to 21 Harvesters right now. This is so embarrassing, you guys. Hey, look, I'm making workers. 5 drones. 5 drones coming up at this very moment. So that's good for me. All right, so I send some Zerglings up and say, I'm at the very least going to try to make sure he doesn't land his expansion without, like, taking some pain, right? So I go for a lair back home. Why not? The 20 drone lair at 6 minutes. Sure. That makes a lot of sense. We can do that. Meanwhile, we are working on more Cyclones. Got a medevac here, too, working on Marines. XFilez is spending his money exceptionally well. Look at him. He's down below 100 on both. Well, okay, was temporarily. I'm spending my money pretty well, too. I'm actually up in workers now, 26 to 23. I've got 2 bases, feeling comfortable about that. And waiting for that lair, I guess. I don't have any map vision. I don't have Overlord spread. I don't have Creep spread going. Ugh. So frustrating to watch this, but people have been asking me to cast my own games, and I finally played one that went past like the first 6 minutes. So here we are. Here we are in a long TVZ. Zerglings say, we can't engage with that. That's too many Cyclones. How about now? Nope, still Cyclones. Run! Run for it. Get a Roach Warren. I know the Roach Warren isn't going to be really great against the Cyclones, but guess what is? Ravager! Ravager is good, so I'm trying to get to Ravagers here. I'm sitting on 33 workers. Only 22 for XFilez, and I do the Ling wraparound. I'm like, all right, if he's moving out, that means I can move in, and I do. All right, here come the Zerglings going for that backstab that everybody hates. And goodbye, Cyclone, you're going to die. Goodbye, Marines, you are also going to die. And lifting off, walling off. Yes, very nicely walling off. I decide not to throw my Lings against that wall and die. I decided to hide the Lings up here and hope maybe he won't see them. That did not work at all. So here comes XFilez with a fairly intimidating big old Cyclone army. 7 Cyclones and 6 Marines here. Gonna make a push. I've got Banelings on the way. So I'm like, all right, the Marines will die, right? The Banelings. And sure, the Cyclones, oh, and that just run Lings to their deaths here. All right, well, they're attracting fire, so the Banelings do get in here and do get a pretty nice splash damage hit. A lot of these Cyclones are very injured, so the Roaches come in and they die. Because again, this is Roach versus Cyclone, but I'm like, I gotta target fire the wounded Cyclones. Ah, crap. Not enough. 4 Cyclones here, just wrecking my drone count. But he hasn't done anything with his natural either, so that's good for me. I'm checking it, and I'm like, wait, what? Oh, no, he has units up there. Okay, good. Lings running in, just getting small amounts of damage done here. I'm sitting at 500 minerals because I can't spend it because I just lost my natural base. And XFilez decides, all right, killing that base is a job well done. And I say, yeah, that Cyclone has 32 kills on it. 24, 32 on these Cyclones. They're killing my Overlords to try to supply block me. I am on 1 base. I am a 1-basing, very sad Zerg at this moment. 8.5 minutes here. And, all right, so some people can get picked up in medevac, not everyone. And I finally deal with this aggression to some extent. I bring all these Lings home. Finally landing his natural base, sending Lings. Once again, these Lings are doing nothing for me sitting at home, so I send them up. I'm injecting too, right? No, absolutely not doing very well with that. XFilez floated a ton of money during that attack. He's sitting at 1,400, 700. Lings trying to get that all-important surround here. That Cyclone's actually trying to kill my Overlord instead of trying to kill my Lings, which helps a lot, it turns out, and I win that engagement and force another lift off the natural base. So XFilez is sitting at 1 base, but guess what? So am I. I tried to mute and cough and talk at the same time. It did not work. I'm just going to tell you that. So loses the natural. Guess what? I double expand. Expand here, and try to expand in the natural base too. Overlord goes down to lock on. 34 kills on that Cyclone. Holy crap. So good. I'm like, get the medevac. I can't get the medevac. It flies. As it turns out, if I could have Baneling busted here, I think I would have won the game in retrospect. The Lings make 5 Banelings, crush this, get in. The Cyclones wouldn't be there yet. So the good news is, he doesn't know about these. Right? So I took these bases at the same time. I'm re-expanding to my natural. I'm still on 1 base at 10 minutes, you guys. I have a lair. I have a Baneling nest. Do I have speed done? No. I'm working on glial reconstitution for some roaches. Once again, this is just as scrappy can get. Zerglings trying to run. Are you checking to see? Are there expansions here? No. Can I do anything? He still hasn't landed his natural good. Can I get up here? No. Once again, Marines and Cyclones, making sure that doesn't happen. There is a Liberator out, though, and she does kill one of my Overlords, which is good, and then sets up and says, all right, if the Lings want to come on in, they can do it now. But, man, he's at 23 workers on 1 base, finally coming down to try to establish this thing. Cleaning bot on the way. Did he actually just kill that base again when I wasn't paying attention? Where does this go? Ah, yes, he does. He does sneak right on in with this, like, invincible Cyclone play, and I think I get this one canceled. And by that, I mean I don't get this canceled. Because I was busy with the Zerglings, obviously. So he kills that. Did he see? He still doesn't know about these bases? Oh, I'm so lucky. If he had seen those, I think he just kills them, and I think I'm in a much, much different situation going into the mid-game here. Alright, so I'm getting more Zerglings, getting Queens, getting +1 missile attack. I feel like I need the Lings, because this is a pretty darn scary army. I might have overmade. Holy mule count, Batman. He's been saving up all the energy. Income, ho! Yeah, that's some pretty differing income there. 24 to 20 drones. I've lost 16 drones in this game so far and 92 Zerglings in 11 minutes. I'm sorry, Zerglings. I did not treat you very well at all. Transferring some drones up to, we'll call this one the 4th and call this one the 3rd over here. Lings running in, trying to do stuff, but against Hellions and Marines and Cyclones and Liberator, no. Not going to happen. Just threw those Lings away. 113 of them died so far. My army is currently 12 Zerglings, period. 12 Lings. It's not good. The good news is I have bases. I have not retaken my natural for reasons I cannot entirely explain right now. I'm transferring drones. I'm making a whole ton of drones. I'm up 33 to 29 harvesters at this stage of the game and going for a double expand here is XFilez 2. So, am I? No, I'm playing blind. I'm going to have this Overlord
Mineral field
up here, but
depleted.
literally that's all I can see. I guess I could tell if this was being... I don't know if I could even tell if that was being harvested from this Overlord position. It's not great. So this is where I send Lings out. I'm very paranoid that XFilez has additional bases that I don't know about. And so I'd send Lings out to just bases I feel like could be potentially expanded to. And no, they're not. So I feel okay. I feel okay so far. I have somehow 3 bases at the 12-minute mark. I have a lair. I'm working on +1 missile attack. I'm getting some upgrades, thank goodness for that. But guess what? More Cyclone drop. XFilez has had all the success in the world with Cyclone drops, and I can't blame him for continuing with that. High-sec auto-tracking on the way from XFilez for what? I guess missile turrets, in case drops try to happen. Up here in his main. Oh boy. Alright, so here comes Cyclone drop at my 3rd base. I actually see this coming. And I boost away, leaving some drones to die, of course. You have to leave some bait. Ouch. More drones. 21 drones have gone down. Hey, guess what? I have Ravagers, though. And getting... One of the Cyclones died. Did one of the Hero Cyclones die? I think it did. And I'm like, all right, can't chase that. Can't chase it. Come back. Come back to work, my drones. 32 Lings on the way. Again, Paniclings. I'm all about them Paniclings. If something goes wrong, I'm like, Zerglings, run! And actually, here comes a pretty scary attack from XFilez. He's, what's the army supplier right now? It's going to be 3,800 for XFilez compared to 2,800 for me. So he's up a full 1,000 in army supply. Coming down the middle. Do I even see this one? No. Again, vision pretty horrendous at this point. Overlord's not spread for reasons I don't understand. It's not like he was running around with Vikings or anything. I don't know. I really don't. APM is about 120 for both of these players right now during moments of intense APM. Perhaps it will be more. as we've seen already. +2 missile attack coming up. Starting to actually spread some creep. Holy crap. First creep tumor of the game. At 14 minutes here. Ah, scary Terran attack. Run. Abandon the third base entirely. Try to get some corrosive vials off maybe. I do this thing where I move my dudes and then do a command. All right, so one Liberator goes down. And the third base is toast. Like, that's just too much. So I'm making Banelings. Making 16 Banelings and saying, why don't you come up that ramp? Mr. XFilez, sir. You know what the good news is? He doesn't know this exists. He thinks that's my only base. Drone comes down and dies. And at this point, I'm fairly blind to this. I know my overlords are getting hit. And then he goes back into the fog of war. And I don't know where he goes from here. I assume he's going to come up that ramp. I'm trying to spread creep down the way to give me some vision. But he just decides to go home. He feels that's a job well done. He says, all right, fine. Your third base is toast. You are on 2 bases. I am on 2 bases. It's 38 to 27 harvesters. I'm winning that one. I'm going to expand a couple times now. And I should be just fine. He should have pushed. Is what he should have done. I don't think I had enough to necessarily stop him. Unless I got incredible Baneling hits on these Marines. Which is possible. Like, I'm not going to say that was impossible. Especially considering, oh, they don't even have centrifugal hooks yet. Yeah, this game was, I was off. I was feeling stressed the entire time. Spread creep down again. Say, oh. Well, alright. I guess he's not down here. So that's exciting. Setting up additional Marine production. He's sitting on 2,000 gas right now. Which is insane. He's expanded to a third base location just south of his main. He has a whole ton of mules mining that sucker right now. Liberator count, got some medevacs on in here too. My one saving grace is 0 upgrades from this guy. He is not upgrading. I am. At least I have +1 missile attack. And we just pass in the night here. Baneling not doing super well. Not doing super well at all. And I'm like, I can't win here. Run! Try to put some pressure on him so that he doesn't kill my bases. And it works. I pull him away from my bases. Send some lings up and say, please tell me there's a base I can harass here. Nope. No, Falcon. There's not a base there. Can I sneak inside the main? Oh, a group of Marines. Widow Mines, though, helping with that, actually. Oh, catching more Widow Mine shots. Oh, and actually hurting those SCVs. And these guys just running for their lives. Free Cyclone, because he outstripped the coverage there. Corrosive Vials, landing, getting some decent hits on the Marines, killing a Cyclone, but once again, can't really engage. So I'm just running. Ravagers are fairly fast compared to most of this army. I'm trying to kill those Widow Mines and don't cause me any problems. And I see this base being constructed, but I can't stop. Necessarily keep running. 13 roaches in production right now for me. Back home, I'm spending my money better than XFilez is. XFilez is sitting at 2,000. 38 to 36 harvesters. Re-expanding to my third base. I think I'm safe to do so because the army's been out running around. I should have done that as soon as I saw the army chasing me, but I was just worried about it. Additional roaches are here. They do have the +2 missile attack. And XFilez, not much here. Not compared to the army he had previously. So he did scan this base at some point, and he's going to go ahead and try to kill it here. I come from the flank on the right side, and I just try to focus down the Cyclones because I recognize I can deal with the Marines as long as the Cyclones are dead. I get a Corrosive Vial down, trying to get that medevac. Can't quite do it here. Winning this. Kind of winning this. Man, Marines are really good with stim and with medevacs. Lings rolling in, and that's a pickup and a retreat for XFilez. 24 lings on the way. Remember what I've said about, oh, he juked me. He juked me. I thought he was going to go inside the main base. Instead, he just drops on the other side of this fourth base and kills a ton more drones. 40 drones have been killed so far in this game. 40 is a big number. Drop it inside the main base. These Marines are having a grand old time. Trying to kill. I'm just focusing down the medevac. You'll notice the medevac is taking damage, but running right now. And I'm just running back and forth. I don't have corruptors. I don't have spores. I don't have anything that can hit this except for a single queen. Here's the drop. And I'm like, all right, that's it. My Zerglings are useless in the situation. I'm going to run up and check this base because I saw it under construction. And I'm going to take it down. So I try. Does this hatch actually go down? This is what I would like to know. Is this queen? This queen was given the command to kill this medevac like 5 minutes ago. Broodlings getting some decent hits off there. Medevac goes down. So there's only one medevac to worry about right now. Zerglings causing problems. All over the place. Third base happily running here for XFilez. Another hatchery has died. 4 hatcheries have gone down. This drop's still trying to do stuff. I do end up leaving a Roach, a Ravager, and a Roach in the main base to deal with this, because it's not a lot that I need to worry about, but the base goes down. I spread some creep here just so these larvae stay alive, and I can keep vision of this location, and I am just... my stress levels are through the roof right now, you guys. I'm just injecting kind of okay. I don't have queens at any of my hatcheries. Okay, my natural has one. My income is just abysmal. Zerglings find this space that some reason is entirely unprotected. And I take down a bunch of SCVs. 8 of them have gone down so far in this game, which is pretty fantastic. So, still on 1 base. Here's XFilez. He's mined out his main long ago. Third base, coming down. Got some Widow Mines for defense. And here comes our Mule call down. I don't know. I don't know if that's a Mule call down or... no, just the one. Just the one. So at this point, I decide to dedicate myself to spreading creep. At the 20-minute mark, mind you, I'm like, you know what it's time to do? It is time to spread creep. Make an Overlord so I don't get supply blocked. Oh my gosh, my army is a handful of Roaches and Ravagers with +2 attack and some Zerglings with +1 melee. That's it. That's all that I have. Zerglings are up here. They're going to try to get in here eventually. Get into that third base. XFilez is relanding his 4th. It's 39. I have 24 harvesters, you guys. 24. Spreading that creep. Zerglings rolling in. The Widowmine shots are bad. The Widowmines are going to die because of that update. Thank goodness for that one. And then the Mules run away, which, hey, that's good for me. They have timed life. If they're not harvesting, that's a win in my book. If they just sit up here, I am down. 100% down with that. Creep spread is being much, much better over the next couple minutes here. More Roaches in production. I recognize, okay, if it's Marines and it's Widow Mines and it's mech and stuff, Ravager is going to be pretty good in that situation. So that's what I'm going for here, and I am droning up a little bit. 5 drones at a time, making army and making drones and spreading creep. APM 123 to 130. XFilez has the lead on that, but having a hard time really keeping his economy going, I think. Widow Mines take care of my lings, no problem. 1 kill and 0 kills. Ah, who got credit for that then? I don't know. Liberator out again for XFilez. Still not spending his money all that well. I mean, he's got production facilities. If he just made Marines out of all of these, I'd be in trouble, is what I'm trying to say here. He just made Marines, made some tanks. He does start making some tank production here. Creep spread up this area, out this right side too, up this ramp. Working on +1 ground carapace, and working on additional gas income. My 4th base is back and running, so I'm sitting on 4 bases to a 4-basing Terran. Not exactly where you want to be. Oversaturating that base quite nicely. And resources lost to this point. 16,000 for me. 8,000 for XFilez. He's doubling me up. Doubling up on resources lost. Worker count 37. I really should. There we go. 18 drones in production. I'm going to try to saturate the space all at once, which is one of the benefits that Zerg have. You're like, oh, I'm sitting on some money. I want to saturate a base. And the game's like, here you go. Still no gas. Have I taken any gas? Nope. I've taken 0 gas for my natural base, you guys. I don't know. I have no answers for you at all. Ground 1 carapace, again, still being researched. Working on those tanks is XFilez, and I'm being left alone. And that's a big part. That is a big key to this game, is I'm being left alone. I've been aggressively attacked for most of this game so far, but right now I'm feeling okay. I've got creep spread, so I know if an attack is going to come try to kill me, at least on the ground. I don't, again, have great Overlord coverage at all if there are medevacs that are going to try to kill me. But so far, XFilez seems very interested in making sure he doesn't get supply blocked, working on tanks, getting upgrades for those tanks. And I don't know, I guess maybe he feels like he's in a pretty good spot, because as far as he knows, I don't have any bases. I have a main that's mined out, and that's literally it. So some scans would be good for him. I do decide to throw down a Spire, because I see we're dealing with tank count here and Marines. The Marine count isn't all that high, and the upgrades aren't that good either. So I'm thinking, all right, I need Corruptors, and maybe I can get to Broodlord here at some point. Creep spread, yeah, looking good. Looking pretty good. I'm cycling through the creep tumors pretty well at this point in the game. As soon as they get off cooldown, I'm generally getting to them and pushing them at all directions. And I don't think he knows what's happening until he sees this creep rolling up on him. He's like, okay, hold on. There was not creep there a couple minutes ago, and you would be correct in assuming that, sir.
Oh, it's on.
It's on. Got some Marauders in production too. It's 189 to 158 supply. I'm sitting at 50 drones to 65 SCVs. I mean, sure, I'm fairly well saturated on my 4th base. I'm mining here for my natural now. Maybe eventually I'll get gas on these extractors that I've taken, but no guarantees there at all. So this creep spread happens, and he says, wait, what? Everybody come here. Tanks. Missile turrets. What is happening? Some more creep spread in this location too. He can see this tumor, but he can't hit it with anything. There are no tanks in this area. So I'm trying to put some fear of Zerg into him.
Oh, it's on.
Going for a hive, going for +2 missile attack. I've gone for ultras on my last few TVZs, and I just didn't do very well. Again, tank count here is a big part of why I didn't go ultras. I recognized what was going on and actually changed my strategy to deal with it. And I said, all right, this is a big, scary Zerg army. This is +2, +1 Zerg. Got roaches, got ravagers, got lings, got banelings. I'm checking out what's going on here. I don't see enough to really be worried about, especially with the creep coming up and giving me some speed bonus and some vision. So I come right on in. Got banelings, got lings, got some decent hits there. Bunkers go down. Trying to corrosive bile down these tanks, and I do get the tanks and the orbital command. I retreat with this group because they're not in a good position. They're getting hit on by tanks. And then once the lift on that orbital command happens, I run. So I'd say that was a pretty good engagement for me. Was able to kill some tanks, some marines, some bunkers. Again, put some fear of Zerg into my opponent. I spread this creep along this left side, which is just, I love getting creep around. Up around Terran bases, Protoss bases too. Creep spread still happening, and I'm expanding up to this area too. So 26 minutes, I finally take a 5th base, which, good for me. Golf clap on that one, making 12 drones. Am I actually going to get 60 drones, you guys? Am I actually going to hit 60 at the 26 minute of this game, 26 minute mark of this game? The answer is probably. I'm actually harvesting gas for my natural, which is just an incredible accomplishment. Once again, I'm able to make a whole ton of drones to saturate this new 5th base. The scan reveals that that's there. The creep spread creeping up along the left side. Finally killing it. Finally deciding to push down this creep. Now, what the creep does is slows down his push. Right? I'm just now starting my Greater Spire. And I recognize, okay, Greater Spire to deal with the tanks, the marine count isn't that high. But if he pushed and he attacked right now, I've got Corruptors, I have Lings, I have some Banelings, I do have some armor. And it's nice, but I'm really worried about engaging with his army at this stage of the game, and I should. It's 190 to 167 supply. 66 workers for me, finally. 14 more drones in production here. I'm going to try to resaturate this 5th base now that I'm taking gas from him. My gas income is really, really nice. 1,300 compared to 800 for him. Mineral income still better for him, actually. He's sitting on 5 bases too now. And again, mules. Mules are good. Good unit. Yeah, so everywhere he goes, he just sees more creep, and he's like, all right, this is not good. This is not good for me. He's not scanning and killing the creep here, which I find very odd. I'm not sure what his deal is. I'm like, come on, Greater Spire. I'm just spamming these Corruptors. Pressing G, going, come on. Come on, Broodlord. Let's do this thing. For some reason, it's... thing is G for me, and I finally make 5 Broodlords as he starts to push in, and I'm like, I can't have him attack yet. My Broodlords are not done. They take a while to build, so I attack with the Lings up into this 4th base. That is actually not all that well defended. There are some Liberators here, but whatever. Zergling's taking care of everything that's on the ground, and it does halt his attack. He brings everybody back to deal with these Zerglings, my Zergling counterattacks, and I get inside the main base. There's not a wall. Oh, he tries to wall up. A little bit too late there, but look again, the entire army coming back to deal with this, and I'm just right on top of production facilities, right on top of this armory. Upgrades are going to be a problem. Marines are coming out and getting killed, which is huge for me. And I'm finally maxed out. I'm finally making Broodlords, killing supply depots, trying to take down factories too. And so far, so good for me. These are cracklings. 0.35 weapon speed. And finally the Lings get cleared out. But this bought me the time. This bought me the time that I needed. My Broodlord count is healthy. I've got a full 8 of them there. I am making some Corruptors because I recognize the threat of possibly Vikings showing up. And I'm just not, I don't want to leave my Broodlords entirely unprotected here. So Ground Army is present. Got those roly-polies in there, +2/+2. And I decide to attack on into this a little bit. Banelings are going for those SCVs. No, going for the tanks, actually. Bring the tank count down a little bit here and just throw away my Roaches and my Ravagers. But here come the Broodlords. Now, here is the thing. XFilez not dealing with this very well. He is taking severe damage from these Broodling strikes here. 20 damage per shot on these Marines that have +2/+2, but they're not +3/+3 by any stretch of the imagination. He's trying to kill the Broodlings on the ground. If he brings... Well, I don't know if he could bring the Marines out this way either without getting shelled on that left side too. He does try to bring the Widow Mines over and burrow them underneath the Broodlords. And I see this happening. I don't actually have time to make an Overseer, unfortunately. But I do kill all of these Widow Mines before they can burrow, which is a huge help. I mean, the tanks are just racking up the kills right now. At some point, I do get the idea to bring the Corruptors in and kill these Medivacs to make these Marines a little bit less tanky. But for now, I'm just winning 120 to 145. Corruptors coming along this left side and say, all right, Vikings, we can't let that Viking count get too high. And as long as we're here, let's go ahead and get rid of all of these Medivacs too. So no healing for you, no pickups for you, and there's the good game out of XFilez. The 30-minute Broodlords make it happen for FalconPaladin on the ladder in a TVZ. Go figure. Oh, let me tell you, my heart rate was up. It was spiked at the end of this game. I had to go for a walk. Still lost a ton of stuff, you guys. 25,000 resources lost for me compared to 22 for XFilez. Almost 300 Lings died. That's a lot of Zerglings to die. 56 Roaches. XFilez didn't lose a whole lot. 13 tanks, 100 Marines for a 30-minute game. He just didn't lose a whole ton. He was floating a ton of money there, too. As you can see, 8,000, 4,000 at the end of the game. Trying to bring Marines in to deal with this, but yeah, Broodlord count a little bit too high at the end there. It was 14. 14 Broodlord is a lot to deal with as a Terran if you're going Marine tank, as it turns out. I also liked that I abused this little ledge here, so the Marines couldn't really get in close to attack. They had to sit back here and deal with it, and going around the outside meant coming up a ramp where the Broodlords could still rain down on them. There just weren't enough. Not enough Marines. I didn't, again, very a huge fan, as the Matutu Cracklings come up to try to help with this as necessary, of that counterattack at the third that pushes army back. That gave me the time to get the Broodlords. Very proud of that one. And yeah, overall, intense game. Again, not talking GM, not pro, but something I was fairly happy with. So that's going to be it from me. This has been FalconPaladin casting FalconPaladin. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /FalconPaladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
Before us, our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. Justice, our duty is unending. I feel your presence. search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala. The ascension is before us. Our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. I sense a soul, a soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. Sense a soul, a soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. Kinala